When you dream, you do not visit another world. You return to the one your waking self has forgotten. The visions that flicker behind closed eyelids are not random misfires of a resting brain, but messages in a language older than words, sent from the depths of your own consciousness. If you dream of this, your higher self is sending you a message, is not just a statement. It is an invitation to remember that your soul speaks in symbols, in whispers of intuition, in scenes that linger upon waking like the last notes of a haunting melody. Consider the last dream that stayed with you, the one that clung to your thoughts long after dawn. Perhaps you were falling endlessly through a sky with no bottom. Or maybe you stood before a door that would not open, or found yourself in a house with rooms you never knew existed. These are not mere figments of imagination, but dispatches from the deeper self, the part of you that exists beyond time, beyond the constraints of identity and ego. Dreams are the letters your higher self writes to you in the dark, sealed with the wax of metaphor and delivered to the doorstep of your subconscious. But why now? Why do certain dreams pierce through the veil of ordinary sleep to imprint themselves on your waking mind? The answer lies in urgency. Your higher self does not waste energy on trivialities. When a dream demands to be remembered, it is because you are being prepared. Perhaps for a crossroads you do not yet see, a truth you are not yet ready to face in daylight, or a latent power that is beginning to stir. Ancient cultures knew this well. The Egyptians built temples for dream incubation, the Greeks sought prophetic visions in the caves of oracles, and indigenous traditions revered dreamwalkers as bridges between worlds. Modern science, for all its skepticism, cannot fully explain why certain dreams carry an electric charge, why they arrive at pivotal moments, or why they sometimes contain knowledge the dreamer could not possibly possess. This is not about superstition. It is about recognizing that consciousness is far vaster than the thinking mind. Dreams are the language of the soul, and the symbols that appear within them are not arbitrary. Water is not just water, it is emotion, the unconscious, the flow of life. A snake is not merely a reptile. It is transformation, hidden knowledge, the coiled energy at the base of the spine. A lost child is not a random image. It is the neglected part of yourself calling out to be reclaimed. The higher self does not speak in plain sentences. It speaks in riddles that must be lived to be understood. So when a dream lingers, when it tugs at your sleeve like a persistent child, do not dismiss it. The message is not in the literal events, but in the resonance, the feeling that follows you into the day. Something within you is trying to break through, something that knows what you have forgotten. The question is not whether these dreams are meaningful, but whether you are willing to listen. Dreams are not random, they are precise. Like a master cryptographer encoding urgent dispatches, your higher self selects symbols with meticulous care, wrapping truths in imagery that bypasses the censoring mind. To understand these messages, we must first grasp the fundamental principles that govern this nocturnal communication. At the core lies the concept of symbolic resonance, the idea that every image in a dream vibrates at multiple levels of meaning simultaneously. Take, for example, the recurring dream of teeth falling out, a phenomenon reported across cultures and eras. On one level, it may reflect anxiety about control or appearance. On another, it echoes ancient initiation rites where tooth loss symbolized the death of an old identity. At its deepest frequency, it might represent the soul's preparation to release outworn modes of expression. The symbol itself is a prism, refracting different truths depending on the dreamer's current initiation. This brings us to the second principle, temporal fluidity in dreams. While your waking self experiences time linearly, your higher self communicates from a place where past, present, and future coalesce. That vivid dream of walking through your childhood home might simultaneously be a healing of past wounds, commentary on current relationships, a preview of coming psychological terrain. The walls between these timelines are porous in the dream state, which is why precognitive dreams often arrive wrapped in metaphorical packaging, the unconscious mind's way of preparing you without short-circuiting your free will. Perhaps most crucially, dreams operate through emotional alchemy. The scenarios that haunt your sleep aren't merely informing you, they're transforming you. When you wake with your heart pounding from a chase dream, the adrenaline isn't just residue, It's the physiological imprint of a psychological shift in progress. Your higher self doesn't just want you to understand something intellectually. It wants you to metabolize the message at a cellular level. This explains why some dreams resist interpretation yet leave us irrevocably changed. Their work occurs in the realm of vibration, beyond the reach of language. Underlying all this is the unshakable law of symbolic sovereignty. No dream dictionary can decode your personal mythology. While archetypes provide a foundational lexicon, your higher self speaks in a dialect unique to your soul's journey. The ocean in your dreams may represent boundlessness to one person and trauma to another. This is why the most potent dream work combines universal archetypal wisdom with deep personal inquiry. Your symbols emerge from the intersection between collective unconscious and individual soul contract. Ancient Egyptian papyri tell of the Tuat, the dream-woven underworld where souls traveled nightly to receive wisdom from the god Thoth. Here, initiates didn't merely observe visions. They walked through corridors of living hieroglyphs that rearranged themselves based on the dreamer's readiness to receive truth. This mirrors modern reports of dreams where libraries contain books with shifting text, or where staircases reconfiguring themselves mid-ascent. Your higher self crafts each symbol in real time, adjusting the imagery to your current capacity for understanding. A lesser-known Tibetan Buddhist parable describes the mirror of karmic dreams, where a young monk kept dreaming of a bridge collapsing each time he avoided his teacher's most challenging questions. Only when he finally asked, "What frightens me about truth?" did the bridge in his dream stabilize, revealing it was never about physical danger, but his fear of crossing into deeper awareness. This illustrates how our higher self uses recurrent dream motifs as gentle, then increasingly insistent, prompts to confront what we resist in waking life. The Gnostic hymn of the Pearl tells of a prince sent to retrieve a jewel from a serpent's coils, who forgets his mission until dreams of his homeland reawaken his purpose. Modern dreamers experience this as sudden, vivid dreams of forgotten childhood passions or abandoned creative callings, your higher self resurrecting buried blueprints of your authentic path. When a dream features long-lost places or people from your past, it's often less about nostalgia than about retrieving lost fragments of your soul's original coding. Perhaps most revealing is the West African Dagara tradition's concept of dream as communal counsel. Tribes people believed significant dreams weren't personal property, but messages for the entire village. Today, shared dreams among partners or groups, especially during pivotal moments, suggest our higher selves collaborate beyond linear time. Those haunting dreams where you're searching for someone through endless rooms may reveal you're psychically assisting another's awakening, or that collective consciousness is working through unresolved history. These narratives all point to one radical truth. When you dream, you don't retreat from reality. You enter its operations room. The symbols aren't decorations, but living interfaces between your localized awareness and the infinite intelligence that designed your soul's journey. The moment you wake from a potent dream, you stand at a crossroads. One path leads back to the mundane world where dreams dissolve like mist, the other into a deeper dialogue with your higher self. Choosing the second path requires more than interpretation. It demands embodiment. Here's how to translate nocturnal visions into daylight wisdom. The immediate afterglow protocol. Upon waking, resist the instinct to reach for your phone. Lie still in the hypnopompic state, that fluid consciousness between sleep and waking, and let the dream's emotional imprint guide you. Ask 3 questions without seeking logical answers. What did this dream feel like? Where in my body do I still sense it? What one image won't release me? Keep a dream journal not by your bedside, but under your pillow. The act of retrieving it creates a ritual bridge between realms. Record not just events but textures, the quality of light in the dream space, whether movements felt weighted or buoyant, any unusual colors or sounds. These sensory details are cryptographic keys to the message's urgency. Symbol activation through daytime synchronicities. Your higher self doesn't abandon its metaphors at sunrise. When a dream symbol, say a white owl, appears in waking life, perhaps as graffiti, a podcast logo, or an actual owl sighting, recognize this as part 2 of the conversation. Create a simple ritual to honor the continuation. Light a candle, pause for 4 intentional breaths, or place your hand over your heart. This signals to your psyche that you're attending to its communications. Over time, you'll notice these waking symbols appear most frequently when you're facing decisions aligned with the dream's core message. Dream re-entry for problem solving. For recurring or unresolved dream scenarios, practice this twilight technique. As dusk falls, hold the dream image in mind while rhythmically tapping your sternum, the seat of the anahata or heart chakra. Visualize the dreamscape as a theater where you now have director's control. Unlike lucid dreaming, this isn't about changing the dream but dialoguing with it. Ask the mysterious figure what it represents, request the closed door to reveal its purpose, or allow the crumbling building to finish collapsing so you can see what lies beneath. Many discover these conscious re-entries provide startlingly practical solutions to waking challenges, as if the higher self had been waiting for you to actively engage rather than passively observe. The embodiment mandate. When a dream lingers for days, it's not asking to be analyzed, it's asking to be lived. If you dream of tidal waves, spend time near actual water that week. Dreams of locked doors. Physically rearrange the entryways in your home. Vision of a childhood home. Visit neighborhoods from your past or call an old friend. This literal enactment creates a feedback loop where your higher self recognizes you're taking its communique seriously, often triggering deeper revelations. A woman who dreamed of suffocating in a tight dress later realized it symbolized her corporate career only after she physically tried on constricting clothing from that era. Dream counsel for relationships. That intense dream about your ex, sibling, or boss. Before dismissing it as subconscious processing, consider it may be a soul-level update about the relationship's current energetic state. Try this. Sketch the dream interaction as a comic strip, then redraw the final frame with a different outcome. Notice where your hand wants to take the narrative. These unconscious corrections frequently reveal healthier relational patterns your waking self hasn't yet dared to implement. The 3-day integration cycle. Mark your calendar for 3 days after significant dreams. Anthropological studies and clinical observations alike note that dream insights often manifest physically or situationally on this timeline. An argument gets resolved, an opportunity arises, or a forgotten resource resurfaces in ways that directly address the dream's symbolism. By anticipating this window, you become more attuned to the dream's real-world orchestration. Ultimately, working with dreams isn't about decoding, it's about collaboration. Your higher self isn't sending messages to entertain or confuse you, but to equip you. When you begin honoring these nightly transmissions with daytime action, you'll notice the dreams themselves evolve, becoming clearer, more directive, and increasingly intertwined with your waking synchronicities. This is when you realize, you're not having dreams, you're being dreamed by a wiser version of yourself. The most profound realization about dreams is not that they carry messages, but that you are in constant, living dialogue with the deepest strata of your own consciousness. Every symbol, every haunting recurrence, every inexplicable nighttime journey is an invitation to step more fully into your role as co-creator of reality. Your higher self does not speak to you from some distant realm. It is the part of you that already exists beyond illusions of time and limitation, reaching back to guide the version of you navigating the waking world. This is why certain dreams feel like transmissions rather than imaginings, because they are. That visceral sensation of falling. It's your soul showing you where you're resisting surrender. The endless hallway with identical doors. Your psyche revealing how you keep choosing familiar prisons over unknown freedoms. The forgotten childhood home suddenly remembered in a dream. A summons back to abandoned aspects of your authentic self. These are not random images, but carefully crafted lessons from your own eternal intelligence. The transformational call here is urgent. Stop dismissing your dreams as fiction and start recognizing them as your soul's native language. Every night when you close your eyes, you attend the most important board meeting of your life, where your higher self, subconscious, and superconscious collaborate on your actual destiny. The question is, are you taking notes? Are you implementing the guidance? Or are you hitting snooze on the greatest advisor you'll ever have? Begin tonight. Keep that journal closer than your phone. When you wake with pounding heart or tears on your face, don't rationalize. Get curious. Ask, What is this dream trying to move through me? Then take one concrete action in waking life to honor that message, even if it makes no logical sense. This is how you build trust with your deeper intelligence. Soon, you'll notice something miraculous. Your dreams will begin collaborating with your waking synchronicities. The hawk from last night's dream circles overhead at noon. The strange symbol from your dream appears on a stranger's t-shirt. The melody you heard in sleep plays in a coffee shop. This is no coincidence. It's confirmation you're learning the language. The final truth. You aren't just the dreamer. You're the dreamed. Every night, your higher self whispers reminders of who you really are and why you came here. The only risk is that you might start believing it, and wake up at last to the life your soul actually intended. The choice is yours. Keep hitting snooze or start showing up for the most important conversations of your existence.